Welcome back to 92.6 with your host, Lori T, on Teacher Tips. Today's episode, we are going to take our traditional PowerPoint, turn it into some really great pictures to use in the notebook technology, which can then get transferred to the smartboard in your classroom. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you have the notebook software right here down the bottom. Let's open it up and start a new file. While that is getting going, I'm going to come down here to my PowerPoint. This PowerPoint I've used in class many times, and my students respond really great to it. But it's ready for a change. We need to boost up our technology and get going with our new smartboard that we got installed. So, let's take our PowerPoint and turn them into pictures. File, save as. You can go save as pictures. If you wanted to choose yourself, you would say save as, go down to JPEG, make sure you have a nice neat folder for them to get stored in, click save, and you're done. That's it. Not very hard. Now, let's go over to our new template right here in Notebook. On the left-hand column, there are many apps, or little icons actually. Right here is a picture. This is where we would go to see all the items that the smart technology has already implemented. I want to add my PowerPoint to this for use. I go into my content. I click on this gray button right here. The drop-down menu says add to my content. It will then pop up a menu from my laptop. I happen to have it open to this folder. If I didn't, I could click in any of these left-hand buttons to find the right one. I'm going to go desktop, and there's my smart lesson, open it up, and there I have all of my pictures that I turned from PowerPoint slides into JPEGs. I'm going to highlight these using my holding down my left mouse button, pulling down with my right finger, clicking open, and watch what's going to happen. See how it says Pictures 51 on the left inside the notebook? When I hit open, that's going to change. Watch. Like magic to 65. Now, I have just imported slides from my PowerPoint into the Smart Notebook. Now I want to get interactive with this. So, on my first page right here, all I have to do is double click, and it will take the picture from over here and put it onto the template. Let's, for example, say this was a review for a test that we are going to have tomorrow. The students should already know these terms. On this leaf, I've left off the term netting. I want the students to come up to the board and fill in this area. So, I may down below take my typing tool and ask them the question, what is the missing term? And then I'll have a list, cat, dog, netting, fish, bird. They would pick netting. The student would come up to the board, and I would ask them to actually write it in using the pen tool. Let's take Creative Pen, and they can go netting. And I'd be really happy because they put it in the right space that I wanted it. Ta-da! Now, onto a really neat tool that Notebook has entitled Screen. Can you guess why? Check this out. See these little dots? These little indents? If you hover over it, press down your mouse, you can then reveal just a picture. Just a tiny bit of the picture that's underneath. Check that out. I think a great way to use this is in review. So, I have a picture down here that has two types of leaves, pinnate and palmate. I'm going to actually start a new page, insert them, take my slide right here, this screen, I'm going to put it over it. I'm going to ask the kids a question. What type of leaf do you think this is? But I'm not going to reveal all of the leaf. I'm just going to pull a little bit. May have another student come up here and draw and trace the veins of the leaf. That'll start giving them clues. I would then have the students compare that leaf to this leaf, revealing just a small portion. Really neat trick. The last trick I want to show you is the eraser tool. Now, so I have this here again. I want the students to tell me what this is in other terms besides a stem. The other term is petiole, but I don't want them to see the terms. So what I can do is I can come up to my pen tool. I'm going to use crayon in this instance, and I'm going to cover up the term. You can darken it really, really dark. And then right here, really dark. And then really dark. Okay, very good. I can ask a student to come up here and erase only the arrow that they think is pointing to the petiole. And then they take the eraser tool and they'd erase it. I can hit this arrow to fill it back in. I could have another student come up here and I would ask them, okay, now I want you to erase the term, but I want you to tell me what the term is first. So the student, I may have him, I'll say, okay, type it in right here, petiole. And then he'll see if he's right. He'll pick up his eraser and he'll erase it. That's all there is to it. This was my Teacher Tips on 92.6 FM. Tune in next time with your host, Lori T., when we talk about teachers in the lunchroom.